Hello again, everyone. Hope you're well on this Wednesday afternoon. We're midweek, y'all, and it is cloudy and right at 70 degrees on the dot here in our little neck of the woods in North Georgia. I don't know why I feel like I have to give you kind of a weather report, but I do. It's just something I do, I guess. I don't know. If you don't believe that we are in a world war right now, you need to think again. I'm going to give you another reason that we are in a world war now, and we have been. But I'll give you another reason, an additional reason. I'll go into that. I also have good news. I have not so good news, and I just have news. It might be good, it might be bad. I don't know. You be the judge. I have an interesting story about underground cities. Underground, I don't know, whatever you want to call it, infrastructures underneath our country. I'll go into that a little bit. I'm going to try not to make this too long. And I have good news at the very end of the video, of course, with a passage. So stay tuned for that, of course. First, some news items. The Fed is holding interest rates steady for right now. They're warning of this is the Powell, the guy, the dude, warning that of risks of a higher inflation and unemployment. The risk of those going up have risen lately. Yeah, rising prices and more unemployment threaten the economy and the country right now, y'all. It's weird. I mean, I think overall prices are still rising. I think some things have gone down a little bit. I know here gasoline has ticked down some. I mean, not enough to really make a big dent in the wallet, but it's a good thing. I'm not complaining. We'll see what happens. Some things are coming a little bit down from where they had really spiked up, like eggs. But overall, our grocery bill just keeps going higher. Even from 2 months ago, 3 months ago, 6 months. I mean, it's you know, and I'm not necessarily blaming the current administration. Understand me. This has been the trend. It's been like this for a while. So I'm just saying, you need to keep stacking. You need to keep preparing. I know most here do. Preaching to the choir on that one. I get it. The good news, the FBI and the DOJ teaming up, they made an arrest of over 200 people in a operation where this was child sex operation. 115 children were rescued. These POSs were preying on children online, y'all. It included some law enforcement officers. It included at least one military service member. Unreal. People who do that kind of crime, man, I'm telling you, it needs to be, their punishment needs to be exacted in the very quickly, and it needs to be in the public square. And I'm telling you, it needs to be harsh. That is just evil incarnate, to prey on the vulnerable people, children, people with disabilities, whether they're adult or children, but children too. I mean, it's despicable, beyond despicable, y'all. So I'm glad they're really going after them. There was also a big drug bust, I think a few days ago. I meant to mention it, forgot. I believe this was out of Oregon, or at least a big cartel leader was involved in this in Oregon, or at least that's where he lived. But a big drug bust, over 400 kilos of fentanyl. Maybe that's, 400 kilos, I think, of methamphetamines, and then a lot of fentanyl, a bunch of fentanyl. They're saying it's a record-shattering operation, a record number that was seized in an operation they had been working on for a while. All the big ones: methamphetamines, fentanyl, cocaine, heroin, money, firearms, cash, automobiles. You know, Kash Patel did say, he says, I'm gonna let them go, go after bad guys, like they should be. I'm glad they are. Pam Bondi did come out and say, I think this was today, that as far as Epstein, now this frustrates me still, but she said that tens of thousands of videos of Epstein with children and or child porn are being reviewed right now. She says there's just so much of it. They're going through it. Hundreds of victims. She says there are hundreds of victims of this. Y'all. She says we're going through them now. It's just taking time. Meanwhile, you're still going to be asking, where are the arrests? Where's the list? That's what we want to see. I don't, that's probably the only information we may get. Any further information we'll get from that. I wish they would exact justice on that. They don't even have to tell us details. Just tell us you've taken care of them, But I don't know. I'm not going to hold my breath on that one. But that came out today. Underground bunkers, underground cities, y'all. Now, this originally came to my attention. This has been shared by several people to me, but I also saw this. It was a Tucker Carlson interview. It was a long interview with a lady in the know. I forgot her position. I think she served under W. Bush for quite a while, in the know, in the elite circles. And she was talking very candidly. And if you watch the Tucker Carlson interview, I forgot the lady's name. It's an older lady. This lady I think she's very genuine. She knows her stuff. She's either totally crazy, or she's telling the absolute truth. But anyway, $21 trillion, y'all. $21 trillion has gone into, over the years. And we kind of know, you hear these things, these massive underground bases and all this. I've never doubted it that much anyway. I don't put it past them. But she's verified. She says, it's all true. It's more than you realize. She says people would shudder to see this stuff. The average person doesn't know anything about this. $21 trillion underground network for the wealthy elite to hide out in the event of a near extinction event, y'all. Near extinction event. What does that mean? What do they know that we don't know? Or do they know anything that we don't know? What is that? She said it's underground cities, plural, under the ocean. That's interesting. Transportation, a whole transportation system, y'all. Bases all over the country, underground. Now, again, back to the near extinction level event. That's what I'm curious about too. What is that? What event would that be? Is it even something specific that they know about? The ones that just came off the top of my head were, I don't know, WW3 escalation. I'm going to talk more about that in a minute, that we got going on right now. WW3 escalation, nuclear winter, asteroid, something coming in that they're not going to tell the public about. Now think about it. If they knew of an extinction level event type of asteroid coming in that's on a collision course with the Earth, do you think they would really tell us about it beforehand? Do you really think that? No. We would get no warning. We would get zero warning. It would just happen. It would just happen, y'all. The same with anything else, like gamma ray, or if they had any warning, any other space type thing like that. Widespread power outage, long-term power outage. That's something that could be planned. Who knows? Black swan event, something like that. Total financial collapse. Those are just some things that just roll off my head. But I don't know. What do you think? It'd be interesting to get y'all's take on that. World War. Prepper Now had a video a little bit earlier today on this, and he was explaining. He's been covering the India-Pakistan war. It's definitely a conflict. You could call it a war too. He's been covering it too as well. And he had a video earlier about, these are both nuclear powers. And if it did escalate to where it gets out of control, spirals way out of control, it could go nuclear. You got Pakistan, which is mostly Muslim. You got India, which is mostly Hindu. They don't like each other very much at all. And so if this spiraled out of control into even a limited nuclear exchange, it would have widespread impacts here too, here in North America. It would be global. Even a limited exchange, as strong as these weapons are nowadays. This is not Hiroshima. This is not World War II kind of stuff. So, we need to watch this. Another reason to keep on your preps. Keep stacking your food, your water, protein, stuff that could sustain for a while at least. But anyway, speaking of that, India, Pakistan, now this started a while back, I think about a couple of weeks ago, or I don't even know if it was that long, where some Pakistanis, they're calling them terrorists, attacked citizens of India, and it was a bad scene. We'll just put it that way. But India, there's been skirmishes up until yesterday, late yesterday. India did carry out strikes into Pakistan territory. Now, from what I can gather, Pakistan has returned fire and also retaliated. So we have a bit of back and forth already going on. Pakistan has closed their airspace. They are claiming that they have shot down some of Air Force from India. So you got a back and forth. I don't know if you could call it fire at will kind of thing yet, but if something doesn't happen to where they can get to the table and stop it now, it could spiral. It has the potential to spiral out of control. If that happens, then we really need to keep it. We really need to keep an eye on it now. This is one of those kind of conflicts. You got two nuclear powers going at it right now. And you can say, well, it's in Asia. Okay. It's one of those kind of conflicts that definitely can have worldwide impact quickly. Again, like I said at the top of the video, if you don't think we're in a world war right now, think again. Because you've got also Ukraine, Russia has no indications of stopping, not even temporarily right now. Moscow's closed its airspace. They've got this big military parade that they're planning for this Friday. You got Zelensky from Ukraine saying that he can't guarantee the safety of anybody that goes to that parade. They've got other leaders from other countries coming in to Moscow on Friday for this parade, including China. You got a situation escalating. We got escalating situations in multiple places. And not even to mention, and then you got the Middle East with Israel carried out a huge attack against Yemen. So they're at war with multiple places, multiple countries, and multiple directions. The United States is at war. The United States is at war. They're not going to say it all out like that, but we are at war at the very least with Yemen, with different proxies of Iran, China, and Russia. That's, at the very least, that is truth. That's fact. We have world war going on right now. I think the only question is, will some of these spots start to simmer down, or will they just keep escalating? It's going to do one or the other. So it's something to keep an eye on. I've said it before, I'll say it again. The vast majority of people walking around you, they have no clue about these things. You can't find this on Fox News, or probably even CNN. They may have a little bit of coverage about it. It's kind of hard to find it. I saw Pepper Now's video, and I'm like, yeah, I want to catch up on what's going on with that conflict. And it's just the way it is today. It's like you're not going to get your news from the traditional sources you used to years ago. You've got to go to other sources. You got to go to individual influencers or reports. That's the way to get it now. And it's more accurate. It's quicker. So that's where we are. Several of these things, more reasons to just keep on top of your preps. I'm not trying to scare and say, you gotta go out now and bust your budget. I ain't gonna say that, of course. I'm not advocating that. But let's stay on top of them and just, and keep it part of what we do. Don't have to obsess over it. You got to cower in the corner and hide at home, nothing like that. Go about your business. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid. All right. I'm going to a passage because it's always good, always good. It's never bad. Oh, before I do that, I meant to say this earlier. I mentioned yesterday about preps and having some things in your vehicle, and I carry these around anyway, but I definitely carry these around when I'm working, because you just never know, and I do a lot of driving in my job in the community, and sometimes there are days where I do have to do a lot of driving, and I'm in, I'm kind of out in the nowhere or wherever, or there's maybe a Dollar General within reach of me. So you just never know. But I highly recommend to keep some wipes. Two things. I don't know if I got them. Yeah. Several things. These are good to have. Dude wipes. Can't say enough about them. Come in handy. They're just good to have around anyway, especially when you drive around. You just never know when you're out and about. This little thing is a bottle opener. Things. Yeah, this is an awesome tool. It's got some weight to it. I don't know where we got that one. This dog got that somewhere. What else do I got in here? Y'all are like, dang dog, what are you doing? Floss. Never know when you need some floss, man. This dog made sure I had that in here. Because, things like a knife, flashlight, a self-defense tool. I'm not going to show that because I'm on this platform, as you know. Oh, yeah, I was going to do a passage. I almost forgot. Dang. All right. Bear with me. Got carried away on my stuff here. All right. We are in Matthew. Matthew chapter 18. I just like looking at Matthew sometimes. And I may have read this before. It's been a while, but Matthew chapter 18. This was always spoken to me. Starting at verse 12. The 99 plus 1. From the words of Jesus. What do you think? If any man has 100 sheep and one of them goes astray, will he not leave the 99 on the mountains and go and search for the one that is lost? And if it turns out that he finds it, truly I say to you, he rejoices over it more than over the 99 that have not gone astray. So it is not the will of your Father who is in heaven for one of these little ones to perish. Amen. Amen. Sometimes you go astray, even in your faith a little bit, it just depends on what's going on in your life. We're human, right? But he's always there for you. He's always there. He's like, he's not leaving. He's there for you and welcomes you back. And very glad for it. Because his love for us doesn't change. Even when we doubt, even when we're mad, even when we stray, or we just, we go through something. He still loves us. More than we know. More than we know. So let's keep our faith. And something what struck me is that, if you think about the disciples, Jesus' disciples, it's not like he went to the ivory tower or to recruit people to follow him. It's not like if you notice, he didn't go to the priests and start going there and looking for people. It's just regular people, folks, fishermen, just regular people, even a tax collector. I mean, think about that. He would go and talk to anybody. Prostitutes. All right, I'll leave it there. Share your thoughts. Let's keep preparing. Stay close to Jesus. That's the key. All right. Take care. God bless y'all. I will see you soon.